Hello everyone! Today we're doing Delta Lesson 5. So today's pretty fun because we're learning about a little bit of geometry today. Today we're learning about angles and how they are in our lives and what some of them are called. So today we're working on parallel and perpendicular angles. Two really cool, crazy words. They just mean how lines go. Alright? So the first one we're going to be looking at is parallel. Alright? Parallel just means the lines won't touch. They are perfectly straight, they are angled, and they will not touch. Okay? The sign for parallel is just two straight lines down. Kind of like the L's in parallel. That's how I remember which line is which. Are they ever going to touch? No, just like the L's in parallel. Okay? That's just how I quickly remember it. Okay? Now for the next one with perpendicular, this is where we get into our geometry a little bit. Okay? So here we have a circle. Every circle has degrees. Alright, not like the degrees in our oven, not like the hot degrees, no. Degrees meaning area around. So it's kind of tough to go in because you don't need to know all about this. I just wanted to explain a little bit about 90-degree angles. So when you do a 90-degree turn, that means you go like so. This direction is north, this direction is north behind me, this direction is east, or east. So if you go from north, you turn to east, like you would do in the Macarena, right? You just turn a little bit, that's a 90-degree angle. You turn from your box, there we go. All right. So you turn from this part, this line on a box to this line. That is a 90-degree turn. All right? So every circle has 360 degrees. All right? Each straight corner is 90 degrees. So, trying to get it close enough so everybody can see. So each one of these little lines in our circle has a little square on top of it, just to finish it. Each one of those little squares, here, let me redraw it, just so you guys can see easily, like that. Each one of those little squares means that that's exactly 90 degrees, okay? Now that's something special to remember, because when we're learning about our perpendicular lines are lines that will eventually touch, and they have to be 90 degrees. All right? I always thought, a line could be kind of crooked and that makes it a perpendicular line. No, your line has to be 90 degrees. It has to be a perfect L. It has to be perfect. It can't be, let me erase this part. It can't be a line that's like this and like this. Those are not perpendicular lines. Those are called skew lines. S-K-E-W. S-K-E-W. And can technically be a part of parallel lines. So if I ever give you a IXL that has to do with parallel lines, you will get it wrong if you label this perpendicular, even though they touch, because it's still a part of parallel, and the distant geometrical future that you will have in high school and above, you will learn about geometry and all of your angles. Alright? But right now, we're just playing it easy. Just playing it easy with our, there you go, perpendicular and parallel. So parallel means they will never touch. Perpendicular means they will touch, but they will be at a 90-degree angle. There will be a little square little squares on every corner. If it's got a little square on the corner, that means it's 90 degrees, and that's perpendicular. If I said, look at the walls of your house. If I said, look at the wall compared to the ceiling. Look at that for a sec. The wall compared to your ceiling. So let's see. The wall compared to your ceiling. What is that? Is that a parallel lines, or perpendicular lines? They're perpendicular. They make a 90-degree angle. I could draw a little square in here. A perfect 90-degree angle. All right? So they're perpendicular. Now, what about if I said, what about from one wall on your side of the house to the opposite wall on the side of the house? Are those parallel or perpendicular? Those are parallel. I don't ever plan on those walls ever touching. All right? Those are parallel. They're never going to touch. So it all is just compared to lines. All right? And your sign for perpendicular is this. Like, think of the ground and then a stick sticking out. All right? Because they make two right angles. You won't need to do that, but there's like two little invisible right angles there. So this is the sign. They'll ask you, what's the sign for perpendicular? This is the sign for perpendicular. What's the sign for parallel? This is the sign for parallel. Okay? So they'll ask you, and they'll show you too on your paper, so don't worry. Okay? So parallel, lines don't touch. Perpendicular, lines will eventually touch, and they're right angles. All right? So that's the main thing of today's lesson. But they're also refreshing you on finding the unknown. Now, I know a lot of you guys know how to do this pretty easy, but let me just refresh you. Let's go. 6x equals 48. That's, oh no. My 6 is so light. There we go. There we go. Okay, 6x equals 48. That's in solving the unknown. We've got to find out 6 times what number equals 48. So we can always go by our 6's. If you don't have a chart, if you're trying to, and you guys are really pretty good at memorizing now with all that work. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 36, 42, 48. Oh man, Miss Heather. So 6 times 8 is 48. My fingers didn't keep up. 6 times 8. So you on the bottom, you write x equals 8. Right underneath it, okay? So that's all we're learning this week, really. We're just focusing on our parallel and our perpendicular and also our solving the unknowns. Those are on your test this week, okay? All right, guys, that's it. You have any questions? Go ahead and let me know. I'll be texting your parents later today to see how you guys are all doing, okay? All right, love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.